All right, we have some Chicago Bears news to react to as the Bears have announced several roster moves, some of which you guys already know because we've discussed them, and then a few other ones as well. So we're going to get to all of that and react to it here on Chicago Bears Now. But listen, that's why you subscribe. When news drops, we get you with the video, whether it's in the middle of the workday or if it's 10 o'clock at night at my at-home studio. We are going to break it down. Support the show. We're trying to get to 127,000 subscribers. It's 100% free. The Bears have officially announced 4 signings and 4 corresponding moves to create room on the 91-man roster for these new players. So let's talk about it. My name is Harrison Graham. Here are the 4 additions. We knew about Mekhi Garner, Kaleb Hayes, and Mark Perry, all of who we broke down last night. Garner, a bigger physical corner. Kaleb Hayes, probably more of a slot corner. And Mark Perry, a versatile safety. Millard Bradford is also on board, a versatile safety, could play a little bit of nickel as well. He also, like Mark Perry, comes from TCU, was on that national runner-up team a couple of years ago as well. He actually made the Saints roster under Dennis Allen a year ago as an undrafted free agent, was mostly inactive on game days, but did play in 3 games, mostly on special teams there. But I like this addition because he can come in and he knows the scheme. Like, he knows what Dennis Allen wants to do. He can contribute on special teams. We'll see if he can make the roster, but in the short term, he can absolutely help because that transition should be relatively seamless for him. And look, I think it's interesting because at safety, and you don't see Major Burns' name there. We'll tell you what happened to him here in a little bit. Something to remember is that Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, Elijah Hicks, Jonathan Owens, your top 4 safeties who will all likely make this team, they are all entering contract years. And why is that important? Well, if you don't extend them between now and the end of the season, you enter the offseason with none of your top 4 safeties under contract. So would that entice the Bears to consider keeping a 5th guy like a Mark Perry or a Millard Bradford? Or could one of those guys, Tyshim Johnson as well, could they take one of Elijah Hicks or Jonathan Owens' job? I would be surprised by that, but it is a position moving forward where there's going to be opportunity. So if you're one of these young guys getting signed up here, I mean, you got to view this as a pretty good chance to make a name for yourself. Now, at corner, obviously, there's been a lot of shakeup here with the injuries to Jalen and Kyler and obviously Terrell Smith as well. They had to move on from a couple of guys also, but you get a few new pieces in the mix with Garner and Kaleb Hayes at the cornerback position. And you need all of these additions because think about how thin they are up to this point in time. You have 8 guys that are dealing with various injuries or just away from the team in Zay Frazier's case, which we still don't know what's going on there. Jalen Johnson, you're hoping is ready week 1. Kyler Gordon, don't know the timetable there. Same with Terrell Smith. Don't know what's going on with Nick McLeod, but Brad Biggs mentioned in his article last night that he is dealing with an undisclosed injury and Zay Frazier's away for personal reasons. They had to cut Amir Speed with an injury designation. They had to cut Major Burns today with an injury designation. More on that in a little bit. And Sean Wade, we'll talk about him in a little bit as well. He's been placed on IR. They're piling up in the secondary. I mean, Tyreek Stevenson and Deshaun Wright are really your only 2, and Josh Blackwell, those are your starting corners right now. And luckily you have a lot of depth there, and those guys are at least solid, but you're like one more injury away from just kind of playing guys that you've just had to pick up off the street. So talk about a big test this week at joint practice against the Buffalo Bills and obviously in this second preseason game. It's better now than in the middle of the year, but man, 8 DBs getting hurt or being away from the team 3 weeks into training camp, that feels like some sort of a record. Luckily, for the key players, doesn't sound like any of the injuries are long-term, so knock on wood that continues to be the case. Are you guys concerned about the Bears' injury? Type Y for yes, or you can type in for no. Let us know in the comment section down below on that one. I'm not overly concerned because it doesn't sound like they're major injuries, but it's definitely something to monitor. Something you guys should get going with is Mando, the best whole body deodorant products out there from Mando. Get 20% off with code chat at checkout right now, shopmando.com. Summer is coming toward the end, which means final vacations for a lot of folks. Maybe that's one of you out there. I don't know about you, but when I'm packing for travel, I find myself with way too many tiny toiletry bottles. Just takes up way too much space. That's why I started packing smarter with Mando. The Mando 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar includes shampoo, face wash, body wash, and deodorant, all in one bar. It also includes a shaving lather, so really it's a 5-in-1. Perfect for traveling as it hardly takes up any space whatsoever. Mando's whole body deodorant stops odor before it starts and is safe from head to toe. It's not just for your armpits. Whether you are a fan of deodorant stick or the spray, they've got both. Mando has you covered with odor blocking and fighting off sweat with their products. The Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, such as the mini body wash and the deodorant wipes, plus free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code CHAT. So use code CHAT at shopmando.com for free shipping and 20% off. That's shopmando.com. Use code CHAT. Support us. Tell them we sent you. Bears Now by Chat Sports. That link and promo code are in the comments and description of this video. Code CHAT for 20% off at shopmando.com. Okay, let's talk about the moves they made to clear these 4 roster spots. They have waived 2 players outright, wide receiver John Jackson III and kicker Jonathan Kim. You start with John Jackson, obviously a close buddy of Caleb Williams, which is why I wonder, could he return to the practice squad? He's probably not a threat to go make a roster elsewhere, so maybe he just hangs out while these injuries get straightened out and they bring him back at some point and he could end up on the practice squad. I definitely would not be surprised by that, but if he's gone, look, he was toward the bottom of the wide receiver depth chart, had a chance to make a huge play toward the end of that preseason game that would have put him in field goal range to go win that game and give Jonathan Kim an opportunity to win that game. So that's kind of a bummer for him, but let's be honest, this was always Cairo Santos' job. It wasn't a true competition, but I do respect the Bears for bringing in Jonathan Kim because he's got a big leg, see what a guy like that can do. But Cairo Santos has looked fantastic in training camp, and we all saw him bury that 57-yard field goal with plenty of room to spare. So as expected, he is officially the Bears' kicker. John Jackson and Jonathan Kim are cut, at least for now, especially in Jackson's case. Okay, Major Burns, a guy I was excited about. He suffered an injury in the preseason game. He has been waived with an injury designation. So what that means is if he's not picked up off waivers, he will revert to IR with the Bears. Now, they could agree to a settlement that could allow him to sign with the team elsewhere because if you go to IR before roster cutdown day, if you're not one of those 2 designated guys on cutdown day to get protected from waivers, you are out for the season. So if he reverts to IR and wants to just do his rehab here and stick with the Bears, he can. If it's not a long-term injury, he could agree to a settlement with the Bears and then become a free agent. So we'll see what happens there. First things first, he would have to clear waivers. And then Shaun Wade has been put directly to IR. So he has not been waived with a injury designation. So what does that tell me? That tells me he probably suffered a more serious injury and will likely be out for the season. So his only chance of playing this year, let's say he gets healthy, is he would then have to agree to just get flat out cut with an injury settlement. So typically when a guy is placed on IR straight away like this, that means they suffered a season-ending injury, whereas in Major Burns' case, it may not be season-ending, but he could get claimed and go elsewhere. But if he's not, he then would revert to IR, then he and the Bears make some sort of a decision where if he wants a chance to go play elsewhere, he can. Otherwise, he's on IR for the entire season. Okay, some upcoming dates as there's a lot of roster shuffling toward the back end of the roster. Obviously, joint practice this Friday against the Buffalo Bills before preseason week 2 on Sunday. good test for the secondary. A lot of backups going to be playing, so we'll see how they can hold up against Josh Allen and company. You got the third and final preseason game, August 22nd, which will be next Friday, so a week from the joint practice this Friday. And then roster cutdown day, August 26th. So less than 2 weeks away, or I guess right at 2 weeks away, for Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles to trim from 91 to 53 players. The next day is important too because most teams put in waiver wire claims based on players that were cut from other teams. We'll see if the Bears do that this year. And then the season opener is September 8th, week 1, Monday Night Football against the Vikings, which is only 27 days away. I mean, we're less than 4 weeks away from the real shebang getting here. So on this injury front, while the Jalen injury, the Terrell Smith, the Kyler Gordon, these don't necessarily sound super serious. You're not that far from the real games getting started. So hopefully those guys get back sooner rather than later. As far as the other guys that got banged up, best of luck to them for the ones who ended up moving on and getting cut. Okay, what is your confidence level for week 1 against the Vikings right now? Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not confident at all, 10 being very confident. Give us your thoughts in the comments. My name is Harrison Graham. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. We'll be back soon, so be sure to subscribe and bear down.